The most important meal of the day, second breakfast.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another Second Breakfast podcast. I'm Andy Roth, alongside Phil Duvall. Say hi, Phil.
Still psyched about our jingle.
If I forget what we're called, that tells me, right?
It's the most important meal of the day.
Second Breakfast.
I love it. Thank you, Saba.
I know.
Yeah. Today's Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday. Big ol' slice of Project Melway coming your way.
Nice. Brought to you by the Gibsonian Institute.
Indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Gibsonian Institute has asked Andy and I, tasked us.
Indeed.
That T makes all the difference. Tasked us with the great responsibility of chronicling the journey of Mel Gibson's filmography, starting from the beginning and going all the way through to whatever happens next.
The awesome responsibility of, yes.
It's deep and biting. Yeah, it's tough. We started at the very beginning with a movie called Summer City, and we are plowing our way through. We are really, I'd say, in the meat of the Gibson filmography at this point.
Yes, indeed.
I really. We are right at the point where Mel Gibson was. In fact, Pocahontas is the movie we're watching today, and it is the first movie to be released after Mel Gibson won multiple Academy Awards.
Yes, for Braveheart.
Best Picture, Best Director. That's about it. I get multiple is two, so plural.
There's an S at the end of it. He won Oscars.
Don't believe Mel Gibson's ever been nominated for an Academy Award for his acting.
I don't believe so either. And I got to be honest, I am looking at that as more and more of a shame as we go through his filmography. He is
There you go.
He's an MG, talented dude, you know?
Yep.
And I like his voice acting as well. Where there's one coming up that I'm very excited to rewatch. Chicken Run. I love that movie. So, man of many talents.
He has only been nominated for 2 Academy Awards, but he won both of them. So there is that.
Nice.
Neither of them, for director and picture for Braveheart.
Sure. Fair to say that not many of his talents on display for Pocahontas?
Yeah, it felt like a cheat day. I didn't really feel like I watched a Mel Gibson movie. And
I didn't really feel like I watched a Disney movie. This movie's a mess. This movie is a mess.
This might be the shortest Project Melway ever. It really might.
Are we done? Thanks, everybody. No.
I mean, I feel that way a little bit. I mean, I know it's not. I know we got to give people their money's worth since they're, it's free. But I do feel like there are some things to say.
Yes.
It is interesting that Braveheart was a movie that was, whose, in retrospect, whose biggest distinction was complete and utter historical inaccuracy and revisionism for the sake of feeling
Hollywood.
good, I guess.
Yeah.
And Pocahontas, same.
Same deal.
I mean, really.
Second verse, same as the first. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, this is a continuing theme in the Mel Gibson oeuvre, or a developing theme. The revision of history for the sake of making an entertaining movie, which works when you're making Man Without a Face, which was not revision of history, but it was a revision of a book in a way that was
cut out the most interesting thing and the most challenging thing, as it were.
Cut out the most challenging thing. Yes. I think the most interesting thing was that he had a scarred face. The most challenging.
He still had a face. He still had a face. I feel cheated.
It's a mistitled film. We discussed this. As I said before, I will say again: if half of my face looked half as good as half of Mel Gibson's face in Man Without a Face, I would not be calling
scarred half. I'd be fine with that.
Still better than what I got here, people. Braveheart. Listen to our Braveheart podcast, and you will see the depth of historical inaccuracy and revisionism for the sake of a movie. The reason it works in Braveheart is entertaining. Yeah. Pocahontas is so boring.
It is so boring. Are you ready for this, Phil?
Nothing happens.
12 people credited for story of Pocahontas. 12 people.
What? First
Riding
of
the
all,
clock, are we Disney executives?
how many
Riding the
people
clock?
do you need if it's a true story? Except that it's not really a true story. But I mean, it is at least based on the myth or the legend of what happened to Pocahontas, at least.
I would say legend, because the story that we were told growing up is closer to the Disney movie than what actually happened.
Sure. Well, yeah. Say more about that, please.
Well, okay. For those who don't know, Pocahontas, John Smith came across the ocean. He was there as part of the exploratory party that the settlers brought with them, and he ran across this woman, Pocahontas, who they befriended each other. There may or may not have been a romance. She ends up marrying a different English guy named John Rolfe and moving to Britain.
Yeah.
Pocahontas is like 11 when she meets John Smith. Regardless, there may have been a romance, there may not have been. John Smith, fully grown adult man. Pocahontas, 11 or maybe 12.
11, yeah, 11 or 12. And the thing is, like, that's the important thing. There is a part of the story that seems to be corroborated, much better word and more accurate. But accuracy doesn't matter. I can just make up words and say that they mean what I want them to mean.
Indeed.
Corroborated would be that she saved his life, and the way that she did it is the sort of most famous part of the story. That she saved John Smith's life by laying her head over his head right before the chief, which I think was her father, brought down the war hammer or whatever on him, the mallet, the club. Makes him sound like Thor when instead he's not. But anyways, but other than that,
They
like,
probably
there's
didn't call it Mjolnir,
there's no
I
actual
guess.
chronicled evidence of them having a relationship at all.
Sure. Okay.
So it's just completely made up.
Sure.
There's also they try to do talking animals, but then just bail on the talking animals.
It's true.
Except that the animals still have personalities that are like a raccoon and hummingbird that hang out with Pocahontas.
Yes.
And a talking tree, which I know is meant to symbolize. It just is like the most.
It's Mother Earth, clearly. I mean,
Right, but it's like this, like, it's just the most, like, cartoonish and broad stroked version of, like, the noble Indians and their connection to the earth.
Oh, the fallacy of the noble savage drives me crazy with this movie.
The only thing
crazy.
Yeah. The only thing I appreciate with it is they did this thing where they had they did a thing where they basically, instead of making them the noble savages, like they were like, la la, everything's perfect, the Indians were just as ready to wage war as the white folks. And there was a song which I didn't care for. I didn't care for any of the music.
No.
The song about where the white folks are calling the Indians savages. And then when it came time for the Indians to sing, they were calling the white people savages. And it's a dumb song, but I at least appreciated the idea that they weren't like, we're just simple Indians. The Indians were equally looking at the white people going like the way these guys act is savage. And the white people looking at them going, the way they act is savage.
I don't disagree with you. I appreciated that as well. It felt to me like spackling over a rusty spot on the Titanic. Like at that point, I mean, sure,
no,
yes.
I want you to know that you will love this. I had the best of intentions with this movie. It is one of the Disney movies from my childhood that I never saw. One of the few.
Me too.
Okay? And I didn't want to see it. It didn't look interesting, and then it got terrible reviews or not good enough reviews.
Right.
And I didn't see it. And it's that simple. But I wanted to like it. I didn't have a good feeling going in. You trust your gut, but I wanted to like it so much so. Mm-hmm. This was the first movie for Project Melway that I watched with my daughter.
That's lovely.
No, it's not lovely, and here's why. Because now my daughter is asking to watch Pocahontas.
Here's what you do.
Failure.
Have you heard the term, I may have discussed it on the podcast, have you heard the term gaslight? To gaslight somebody?
Is this when you're like, look a shiny object over here?
No, it's like you have something and you make them feel crazy but by changing something, and then make believe, like, when did you turn that lamp to a green lamp? It was always blue. It's like, no, it wasn't. It was always green.
So in other words, she asked for Pocahontas, just put on Wreck-It Ralph?
That's exactly it. Yes. Yeah. This is Pocahontas.
I'm considering doing that, but here's the other thing. She is 2, and her memory isn't that great.
Sure.
So really, she could just ask for it, and I'll just be like, no. And she'll cry, because I'll delete it. I mean, I have it on my DVR, but I'll just delete it. It's not like...
She won't see it on the shelf.
And she'll cry and then want to watch one of the 1,000 other things she cares about, and it'll be over.
Sure. Good.
Like, Pocahontas, no. But do you want to watch Wreck-It Ralph? Or do you want to watch Up? Or do you want to watch Muppets? Or do you want to watch Mickey Mouse? Or do you want... I mean, listen, the girl's got to... Or, God forbid, do you want to turn the TV off and play a game?
Yeah, God forbid.
But I don't want that either, so I wouldn't actually suggest it.
Nice. Let's get back to the movie, although neither of us want to talk about it.
Please.
The reason the Noble Savage thing bothered me so much was the whitewashing of the actual story. And you and I have multiple times on this podcast, in Melway and other features that we have, talked about what the impact is of based on a true story, and then they change details.
Yep.
And you fair to say you are significantly more bothered by it than I am. Yes.
Although in this movie I was just like, whatever.
Right.
But yes.
Not only was I like, whatever, but even though the whitewashing of the actual events is what bothered me about the rest of the movie treating the Indians as noble savages.
Right.
I feel like in a weird way, and I'm not just rationalizing, like that didn't sway me. I won't go so far as like to say it reinforced my viewpoint, but it didn't sway me because the reason that I know whatever I know of the real story of Pocahontas is because I remember the backlash. There was a huge backlash. There was like, I remember it in the media, and I didn't even see the movie.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like when things are this egregious,
and what kind of backlash was it specifically?
Just you're whitewashing the story. You're Disneyfying the story.
Right.
And so it turned out to be sort of self-governing, if that makes any sense at all.
I think it does.
That's what I want to say about the story, and then I want to put that to bed because gross. Last thing about the story, though, or the plot, I did appreciate that there was a fairly mature ending for a Disney movie.
Yeah.
They don't end up together, and yet it is not a sad ending. I mean, it's not.
No, she's like, I got to stay here.
And he's like, I got to go.
I have to go I got to go to England. Well, I got to stay here and take care of my people.
Yeah.
Which, probably not, but that's nice that she said it.
Right.
It was probably like, I have to stay here and do whatever the men say, but okay, that's fine too.
I have to stay here and begin puberty, but yeah.
Yes, which it's so sad that I didn't realize that Pocahontas was a child because in real life, because in the cartoon she's, by the way, a beautiful woman.
Beautiful woman, yes.
Like just, like in the sense that I think they take a step in a new direction where she seems less cartoony.
Yes.
Than the women of the last. I mean, if you look at the last few movies, I mean, Lion King has no humans, but Aladdin. Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, they have a specific look.
They look like what our generation has come to know because of these movies.
And I almost feel like one of the problems with Pocahontas is that it doesn't feel like a Disney movie because it doesn't look like a Disney movie.
I will go so far as to say that I hated the visuals of this movie.
Other than the sort of Appalachian background stuff and like just some of the colors and stuff, like of the background when it was of the sort of this is American frontier, which I thought was beautiful, and the very, 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 very first scene, which was like the prologue in England with the ship, and like the way they did that was well done, like beautiful.
Yes.
Other than that, yes, I couldn't stand it.
I agree with you on all of the points you just made. The only thing that I would actually add that I actually appreciated was I thought the visuals for the song Colors of the Wind, I thought the visuals were interesting. I didn't love all of them.
I literally just yawned while you were talking
Nice.
about it. That wasn't fake at all. Go ahead.
Right. Here's what I appreciated about it. In a movie where they seemed interested in making things less cartoonish, if you will,
Yeah.
they actually went sort of more impressionistic with a lot of like the dream deer like jumping over. And I mean, I thought that was a fun touch, and it was a way of, you know, there's that moment in most Disney movies and in every, say, Pixar movie where even if you are totally involved in the story, there's a moment where you're like, wow, that is the pinnacle of the form, if you will, like the shot in Beauty and the Beast where you see the chandelier and everything is like goes around the ballroom, and you're just like, this is so beautiful, I can't even deal with it, right?
Yeah.
That was the moment in this movie.
That was the showstopper, and that song was the showstopper. It is by far the best thing in the movie. Is that song?
I agree.
It's not a song that I love, but it's by far the best thing.
Yep.
And it shows the death grip, like the icy cold death grip that Disney had on the best score Oscars for the 90s, because it won for best score.
Right.
Okay, I guess. But that song is good, and that song won for best song. But God, remember when like you couldn't win a best song Oscar if you weren't a Disney song?
Yes, I do remember.
And people, if you're not sure what we're talking about, like, you know, here's a good thing, and this movie has nothing to do with anything, but except there was a movie that came out recently. There was ready for this? A animated short that Andy and I both love called Paperman.
Yeah.
That's filmed at the beginning of Wreck-It Ralph, and you can see it. It's on the Wreck-It Ralph DVD, but I'm sure you can find it elsewhere. But you don't even need to watch it. You can look at the short film, which is obviously made by up-and-comers, right? Up-and-comers in the Disney studios. Mm-hmm. And you look at the way that the man and the woman are drawn, and they're drawn like Disney characters.
Yes.
They look like Disney. And Pocahontas characters, they don't, like, here's the funny thing. Like the evil captain of the ship or whatever looks like a Disney character.
Yeah.
And the supporting characters look like Disney characters.
Yeah.
But it's like they were trying to do something with Pocahontas, and maybe it's because she's an American Indian. They try to do some sort of like, we will make her don't draw her totally differently. Like, we have a picture of what a Disney character is. Yeah. Stick with it, man. Stick with it. I don't know.
That's fair. I do want to talk about the voice acting, because I thought Mel Gibson, although he is given almost literally nothing to work with, I thought he was kind of terrible. His British accent came and went, you know, in weird ways, like in weird ways.
Right.
He wasn't interesting to listen to.
Right.
By and large, I thought everybody else did a really good job, and there's some heavy hitters in this. Grandmother Tree, whatever, that was Linda Hunt, and I thought she was great. I thought the voice was great. I agree with you. I disliked the character.
David Ogden Stiers.
David Ogden Stiers. Thank you for bringing him up. He
did what he does. He did what he does. In my opinion,
great. He was a great voice in search of a better villain.
Mm-hmm.
It
was just the most boring cutout of a villain that you can imagine. And I think you're probably right with Mel Gibson. I think the problem is the supporting characters. This is one of those movies where the supporting characters are more interesting than the lead characters.
Yeah.
And Mel Gibson is really just not given anything. I'm not saying you're wrong. He is terrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're only as good generally as what you're given, and he's given nothing. There are times when you transcend the writing, but it wasn't going to happen here.
No.
It also made me realize how expressive of an actor Mel Gibson is, and you don't see that because the character is just a cardboard cutout character. One of the things that he makes him a special leading man is, while he has leading man good looks and everything, he's kind of a goofball.
Yep.
And he can play it really dark.
Yes.
And those things are seen in his face. And you don't really see that. I'll be interested to see what happens with Chicken Run, because I remember Chicken Run being a legitimately fun movie that I enjoyed.
You know, that's really well said, and I think it's interesting to me, and I think, if memory serves, we will really see this next week with Ransom. we have said,
I love Ransom.
We have said on this podcast that Mel Gibson is one of the best criers, the best male criers. In Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I think
there is a crying moment in Ransom that is awesome.
I believe I am remembering the same moment that you are referencing. And not only is obviously, because he is only voice acting in Pocahontas, that is stripped away from his quiver. You know, he can't use that arrow. But also, I thought the animating of Pocahontas, because they were trying to make her different, was strangely boring. And I think the second most boring animated character, was John Smith. I just like
he was as boring as his name.
Indeed.
Hello, John Smith.
I am a computer algorithm designed
Would you rather watch someone named Max Radikansky?
Rockatansky?
Whatever. Rockatansky?
Both.
Max Rockatansky?
Yes.
Or John Smith?
Not even Agent Smith from The Matrix. You know?
Hello, Mr.
Anderson. This is how much we love this movie, guys. We're talking about The Matrix. There is literally no connection between the two movies.
Let's just wrap it up. Honestly,
last name of Smith. Yes.
Let's just wrap it up. This movie sucked. It's one of my least favorite movies that I've watched so far. Yes. I hate saying that about a Disney movie. I wish I'd never seen it.
Yeah.
This is the kind of movie that makes me, like, when people are like, Project Melway, really? Like, this is the kind of thing that makes me be like,
Maybe they're right.
Next week is Ransom. I am psyched.
Yes.
I will watch it soon.
So next week is Ransom, as Phil said. The week after that, Conspiracy Theory.
Yep.
And the week after that, we wrap up the Lethal Weapon series with Lethal Weapon 4.
The fourth best Lethal Weapon movie.
The fourth best Lethal Weapon movie. It's true. It's true. So again,
I look forward to the next few weeks.
Yes, Ransom, Conspiracy Theory, and Lethal Weapon 4 should be, if they're not the best movies in his catalog, they are certainly very, very fun. And I am looking forward to them because they got to be better than Pocahontas. They just have to be.
I mean,
they have to be.
I know Ransom is. I have heard nothing but good things about Conspiracy Theory.
It's better.
And Lethal Weapon 4 is terrible, and I still look forward to it way more than if I am deleting Pocahontas from the DVR when I get home.
Yes. If only I could Johnny Mnemonic delete it from my brain.
Do you know what the best part about Pocahontas was?
What's that?
Hearing my 2-year-old try to say Pocahontas.
I don't have a 2-year-old, so I even missed that.
I'll ask her to. No, I'm not going to ask her to say it because I'm going to try to get it out.
That's right. Don't do it. I'll just believe you. I'll believe you.
Yeah.
Folks, this has been another installment of Project Melway, brought to you by the Gibsonian Institute. We are Second Breakfast, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The most important meal of the day, second